Well, it tells us something that's interesting. Around 20 years ago, I began teaching something called Seven Mountains. And Seven Mountains was a worldview that says that there are seven spheres that shape culture. Whoever's at the top of those mountains dominates. That's where the gates of influence are. And I said academia, government, which would include the Justice Department, media, entertainment, big business, religion, and family. Of those seven, the five that have become occupied by an ideology that is it's not just progressive, it's actually an ideology that you could say now is actually culturally Marxist. And that ideology has penetrated academia, so all the graduates have gotten into the corporate world, so it's now in big business. We see it manifest in politics, but then look how media and social media, the rise of your paper, for instance. Why is it that I'm reading it? Why am I getting it? Because in media and entertainment, the high places, the gates, have been taken over by an elite that don't represent the vast majority of Americans, but the vast majority of Americans aren't always aiming for those suites that these people are going for. And so now we're realizing we have to occupy those gates of influence, or they'll actually be occupied against us.
So do you think this is a battle between good and evil?
Ultimately, that's why the Bible is such a fascinating story right now, because the Bible predicts that there is a force that is restraining global lawlessness. This is the Apostle Paul's writings. And until that force is removed, lawlessness is in check. But once that force is removed, then lawlessness is going to become rampant. So when you see the rise of communist China, the resurgence of Iran, radical Islam, and when you look at the failure of our own institutions to be able to suppress lawlessness with an election, what does it tell you? Lawlessness is actually on the rise. The Apostle Paul called it the spirit of Antichrist, or a lawless spirit. And so what would that be the opposite of? The spirit of Christ, which is actually what we believe is mobilizing people of faith right now to stand up for their nations.
And then we also have big tech now, which blocks the spread of the truth.
Well, think of it. Think of the big tech fused with the intelligence community. Now you have weaponized intelligence communities able to monitor your conversation, your email, your text, who you're hanging out with. Hey, listen, you can even see who you're socially distancing from, or who you're not. Who have you talked to in the last week? They could track you. Big tech fused with the intelligence community becomes the ultimate weapon of government control. China actually uses it already. And we're surprised to find out that it's taking over more and more in the West. But people are allowing it to happen because I don't think they realize this is a threat to their freedom.